is how the story goes. We find out by the treasure in the grand line, there's no doubt. The pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing, I'll be king of the pirates, I'm gonna be king.
Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I bring to you a video on my crazy event grind, where 2 Deviljho max weapons and style changes, along with 1 Espinas max weapon, as I cover my results from my recent Espinas and Riftborne Deviljho events. You know, something that other people should probably do, but they never do it because you don't grind as hard as you think you do, and you suck. No, seriously, I think more people should really do this so they can prove themselves. And yeah, if you love the game, why don't you show that you play it more? I'm just saying. Because I went way harder than I thought, actually, and I got enough material to max multiple weapons. I will go over my build strategies and results. No, seriously, this wasn't planned out at all. I was like, you know what, let me casually grind and get all my armor. And I actually ended up going ham, and yeah, it was actually pretty dang cool. As you see here, mowing down Espinas left and right, and taking down poor pickles, putting them in a jar, and just eating them for breakfast. Well, actually, no, they ate me for breakfast a lot, because I used a lot of potions during this run. But first, we're going to go over the build. So, first, I have my Espinas build. Blast Dash, Great Gyros, Gunlance. As you see, my Drift Smelts are just all over the place. I was trying to get Status Sneak Attack on ×4, but that just didn't work out. And I never really used Lock On. It's just I have Burst 3, so I'm actually playing in full aim mode. This was the build I used to mow down 8 to 9 star Espinas, and this build allowed me to get quick kills versus Espinas thanks to Shelling plus Paralysis exploit. The thing is, if you saw like on my the intro vid when I was taking out Espinas, if you angled the stake shot in full aim mode, you can actually target the wing and paralyze in the first combo. Not only that, after you paralyze it, you actually get it to where you can break its parts. So it was actually really great if you went behind the tail. I didn't care for cutting the tail because my concept is I'm going to mow down as many 8 to 9 stars as I can in one sitting during the hours or as much as I can so that I can get the first 2 slots for doubled. So the thing about it is, and people ask me this all the time, why don't you go for part breaks more? Yeah, they give you a chance, but if the first 2 slots are doubled, I get more out of killing it faster and going on to the next one versus sitting on one for like, what, 30-40 seconds and trying to wait for it to roar, break the tail, and then moving on to the next one. So yeah, this was the build I used. It was Paralysis Exploit 3 with Burst. I already had the Burst Drift Smelt on my Rothian Van Braces, and this is for Artillery 3, which gives you enough to get you that extra shell you have for your full burst for Gunlance. Next up, we have the build I use versus Riftborne Deviljho. My Time Charger Camellios Bow build. And it's full drift smelted. This was the build I used to take down Riftborne Deviljho during the events and the outbreaks. And honestly, it took a lot of practice to accurately get shots and proc Time Charger. But I would say it was actually really good for me because since Deviljho is so aggressive, trying to proc Time Charger and do charge sidestep at the same time is actually really hard. Because if you looked at the rectile, it's not that big. So for me, I visually go off the flash. So when you see me proc Time Charger here, I'm literally looking at that small dot. I wish it was bigger so I could see the flash. So I'm still practicing against like aggressive moving targets to see how I can better get my timing. I think I'm getting it naturally just because mechanically, just because of fighting and competing in Pokemon Go PvP and just like freaking almost 20 years of combat sports, like mechanics. I'm very good at visual. I'm a visual person, so when I visually look at it, it's like much better. I don't use sound. Even though I think if you did use Time Charger, sound would probably be best because as soon as you hear the whoosh, that flash, you could automatically let go and Time Charger will proc. So honestly, I just do better with my eyes versus my ears. Like for Pokemon Go PvP, I never counted attacks with sound. I literally counted by looking with my eyes or just by instinct. So yeah, never did it that way. But this is fully just smelted. Classic Camellios Bow 5 with Kushala Drift Smelted Deor Van Braces for that Evade Extender +1, and it helped a lot when taking out Deviljho, and more on that later. Moving on, look at this big, beautiful map. Full of tagged Espinas. Yes, this is what you do when you're a pro at grinding. No, seriously. Like, why don't other... And at least on the English side, because, you know, Japan's a different demon, but, you know, English side, I'm the king, so yeah. Here's what happens. Here's what you do for the event strategy. You fill your paintball list with 8-star and 9-star Espinas first. Probably just 8 stars. It makes life a little easier because when you're trying to get and kill as many as you can. You want the easiest one you want to rip out, hence why I'm not on 10-star monsters. Why would I fill my map with something harder to kill when the goal is to max out a weapon as fast as humanly possible? This was done by finding large forest biomes and cruising around to tag as many Espinas as I could. Literally, drive, cruise around neighborhood, tag Espinas, and then I'll just pull over and bam. I'll just stop, take out the entire batch using the full map mode, and usually 30 minutes would pass and I could do it all over again, because the 30 minutes, when you get to the halfway point, it resets. So I could just stay in one place, tag everything, paintball everything, blast it, and then move on to the next one. After that, I would take out the 20 plus Espinas when the boosted hours ended during the intermission periods. So you had a little bit of a downtime. I believe it was 12 to 1 and then 5 to 6. So during the 5 to 6 and 9 to 10. So in between those time frames, I would just take out the Espinas that I paintballed, or like in the morning or something like that when I'm at the gym and whatnot. So at first I was using my full Drift Smell Kushala bow and your Gigante bow builds just to see what would work best. So you see me here, I'm using my Kushala bow build. Both were okay, but with the Espinas shell, it was pretty clear I needed something that could blast through the armor. So I was like, you know what? That's when I thought Blast Dash Great Gyro's gun lance. I'm like, okay, you know what? If I could like make it to where I could paralyze this thing, which I found out. And I've been trading, I'm actually trading with the Blast gun lance in full mode. I'm not using lock on or off one just because I think there's some crazy angles you could take out. And it's just a lot more fun for me personally. And it takes a lot of skill. But I still used a lot of potions. Don't get me wrong. You see my potion count below there? Yeah, that went though really low because it kept going lower and lower because I used a lot of potions this event because you will mess up. You will take damage. Sometimes a lot of creators... Actually, no. A lot of creators don't show you any of that. I think I'm the only one that shows this. Like, yeah, I used a lot of potions. Yeah, I didn't... It took me a lot of practice. Instead of just like, oh, here's a 10-star monster I destroyed easily. No, you practiced that a bazillion times before you actually got there. Speaking of getting there, you're finally here. The very first Outbreak event officially out since base explorations released. And we have Riftborne Deviljho. Here's the event and Outbreak strategy. So, of course, for those of you that know, if you poison a pickle, it equals death. And it was trying to, like, for this whole thing, the event, before even Outbreaks came out, they had those 5 Deviljho hats, where you had 5 Riftborne Deviljho. I think a lot of y'all went out there. And actually, as much as I will, I take out as many, the goal is to take out as many 10-star Hunt-a-thons as possible, just using my free 3-hour passes. Usually, I'd find one driving to the gym and go to the workplace, / hip-hop, dance, / getting food, or whatever else. I would literally look on my map and be like, okay, is there one near me? Okay, cool. Drive to it, blast it, and then bam. So I actually just took out, like, I believe like 50 of my Deviljho that I took out during this event or more were from Hunt-a-thons. And the thing is, Chameleon's bow and Time Charger worked really well. If you got it to where you could proc it constantly, like I think by the second or third volley of arrows, I could break the special part and just go straight for its head. I knew there was better ones out there, like the Deviljho HPG is a monster with Valor to take out Deviljho, but I didn't want to build a brand new weapon just for the sake of killing Joe faster. Don't get me wrong, that weapon is probably going to be really useful for the next Elder Dragon, Malzeno, because Malzeno, per the game, but like in Rise, it's weak to Dragon, so it'll probably really help for Dragon. But I already have a max HPG for the Summer HPG, and I didn't want to invest in another Dragon weapon. I already have Near Gigante Bow maxed out, so use your resources wisely. Don't just build and build. So like that's what I try to do. But what I didn't use wisely is like I literally have doubled every single one of my Deviljho Riftborne skills since the event started. So what do you do about outbreaks? Well, you get your outbreak early. That's a given. I'm a solo player. I don't group up with my friends or whatnot because all the rest of my friends that are hardcore AR gamers, guess what? They play Pokemon Go. And I'm pretty sure if they got into Monster Hunter now, they'd be really dang good at the game because some of them grind way harder than I do because they've grinded Pokemon Go forever and have done hundreds and thousands of raids. To put it out there, if you are a hardcore Pokemon Go player and you've played a lot of Pokemon Go, you are level 50. If you are less than level 50, you have not played a lot of Pokemon Go. Just saying. But yeah, this is, you get there early, you break the special part first. When it's on the head, it's going great. When it's on the leg or on its toes, give me your toes. But its toes are very, very annoying. And if I can't break the head, that's okay. I couldn't break the head constantly. I'm pretty sure if I practiced more, I could get it. But I was more so just pressed for kills because I wanted to, again, slay as many as you can so you get that Riftborne scale. Yes, you're going to get salivas, but when you get it on the first 2 slots, that's where you get the most. And it really sucks on Sunday that it wasn't boosted. So I'm gonna rant on that later during the feedback. But again, I'm just going to try to finish them off as many Deviljho as I can. And believe it or not, when you have 1 level evade extender, it works really well. Because you are able to dodge Deviljho's tail. And then you can go ahead and just smack it away to oblivion. I wanted to use Valor, some sort of combination like that, but it's okay. It was just, I would, honestly, with the Poison Exploit boost, plus your special skill, like you see right here, you'd wipe out Deviljho anyway, so I wasn't worried about it. The strategy for Outbreaks, just kill as many as you can. Don't worry too much about the part break, because the first 2 slots were boosted, unless it was the last day like here, and then you might get that broken part right there because you broke the special part. And speaking of parts, well, here's my Espinas event results. I slayed 345 Espinas total, where I gathered enough materials to max out 1 Espinas weapon, and I also gathered enough materials to grade 8 all Espinas armor pieces. I don't know how many I doubled. Like, I doubled enough to get 27, then for the rest I kind of just like blasted out. But I got enough materials to build all Key, Luna Garen, and Garen Golem armor pieces to grade 8. So the Vital Ice, there's only 1 piece for Luna Garen so far. That's going to give you that +2 for Vital Ice unless you get to the weapon. I already have an Ice Elder Dragon weapon. Kushala, the strongest one in the game so far. So, I was not going to bust my bacon to make Luna Garen to make Vital Ice. Especially since I have the most powerful ice weapon in the game right now, which is the Kushala Bow, since it's a super weapon. But yeah, it was great. I didn't expect to go this hard. No, seriously, I wasn't expecting to go this hard at all. I thought it was just gonna be like, alright, cool. Like, much more chill. But yeah, you know, if you grind hard, there really is no chill. You know, I'm pretty much the only hardcore grinder when it comes to Monster Hunter now as far as English side for the creator side. As far as, like, the top 3 in YouTube. And I slayed over 250 Deviljho toil. I never thought I would kill so many pickles. My Outbreak results were, on day 1 I slayed 60, on day 2 I slayed 67, day 3 I slayed 51. I actually didn't play the entire hour on day 3 because I was having lunch with friends, but I think I was like 15 minutes late, so 51 in my opinion still really good. And thanks to that, if you saw all my materials, I got enough materials to max 2 Deviljho weapons to grade 10.5, fully styled upgrade 1 to level 20, and style change and high style upgrade a second Deviljho weapon. So I can make 2 weapons. One fully powered, and the other one, I don't know what to do with it. All I know is that I really want to save the first one for Insect Glaive when it comes out. I don't need another dragon weapon. I have Near Gigante Bow maxed out. I'm the only top content creator in YouTube, in English side, with a max Near Gigante weapon. So y'all need to do some the rest need to do some serious catching up to do because y'all ain't as hardcore as you think you are. And this brings us to my feedback for this event. They could have announced that Espinas, Luna Garen, Garen Golem, and Radabon would be boosted in each individual biome before the event. Would have been an easy announcement. When they all went off and they were all in their spectacle, I was like confused. I was like, wait, what? Okay, they're only spawning each one. So that made it a little more difficult to plan, at least for the first hour when the boosted first started. But those double drops in the first 2 slots, they came in clutch. Because, you know, we didn't have that for Fulgur Agenat. This was amazing. And the access range boost being active for a long time is awesome. Love this part about the event. 9 AM up until midnight. That's crazy good. Loved it, and it helped a lot for tagging stuff and just hunting monsters and just the overall experience. Speaking of tagging, that tagging feature where you can hunt monsters you travel by later was huge. I could literally cruise around my car and just tag a bunch, pop open the and then look and then tag all of them, pop open wide view, and then bam, just start hunting. But what wasn't great, yeah, those double drops were clutch, but Sunday's Outbreak should have had double drops in the first 2 slots. This was really dumb that it wasn't, because you only got 1 for the first 2 on Sunday, which was really dumb. Again, the reason why I'm ranting so much is because it totally should have been the opposite for the Outbreak, where it extended to where the first 2 were boosted, so that you get the most out of time. Why is the first 2 days it's boosted, and then the last day it's like, no, we're not. So yeah, they should fix that. All in all, I hope y'all had a great time during the Season 7 kickoff event. I actually managed to get over 1,200 Exchange Hub tokens, so I'll be using that to buy all the storage and buy materials for style change. So there's some pretty sweet rewards in that Exchange Hub. So definitely made sure I got all those Wyvern Gem Shards, even the weapon refining parts and whatnot, the armor refining parts, as well as the storage. And then I got all the materials I got for Great Gyros, and I'm trying to figure out another one right now that I want to invest in, just for the heck of it, because I really need to get rid of all these materials in my, well, not need to get rid of them, but you know, I have a lot Yeah, when you grind hard, actually are hardcore player, actually are transparent with your community at how hard you play at the game. Because if you work hard in life, you work hard in the game, then yeah, you're credible. If you don't work hard in the game, but you try to put it out like you do, you're not very credible. I'm just saying. I mean, here's my resume. Y'all can dictate me all you want. You know, you see all my stuff, and I do this stuff all the time. With that being said, please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Hope y'all had a lot of fun. I always wish my community and y'all the best of luck in your drops and in your grinds. And I will see y'all in the next video.